Oh, I'm here. What's up, guy? I don't know if my audio's on. Is it? Yeah, I think it is. Okay. I'm just going to assume that I'm here, so. Alright, so this is Tokamaki 2 for the PlayStation 1. It's a racing game about driving cars, but in this run, we're not going to be driving a car. Instead, we're driving the four-wheel drive Robo, which I'll explain more the significance of this vehicle as the run begins here. So this will be the all tracks category, which goes through all the tracks present in the game, and some of them have really cool visuals and cool track layouts. Make sure I'm on the right course here. Let's do sunset for the time. Alright, I assume I'm ready to call time, so 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, let's go. So the reason why I'm using the robot is not just for memes, it's actually the fastest car in the whole game by far. Alright, we're on our first track here, which is a mountain track. And as you can probably tell, the game is pretty drift heavy. So the main way to go fast is to drift through all the corners. You do have to avoid speed decrease though, because that can happen sometimes. Also, there is no music because my disc is pretty messed up. So I apologize for that, but just imagine some Eurobeat playing in the background and it'll be fine. But yeah, one cool thing about the robot is that the arms spin whenever the wheels turn, so the faster you go, the more the arms spin. It's a pretty cool mechanic. Alright, we're doing some pretty good drifts here, coming up towards the end of the track here. I cannot talk. Okay. I'm sorry I can't reach chat. This is not an easy game to reach chat while running. Just dub in some Eurobeat? Yeah, that's a good idea. Alright, 125 is pretty good for this track here. Let me pull up my split so I can remember the names here of the tracks. Okay, yeah, coming up now is Night Cruise, which is a highway track. If you ever played Tokyo Extreme Racer, you would probably recognize this one here. But yeah, the robot has 600 horsepower and only weighs less than 1,000 pounds. So that power to weight ratio is through the roof here. But yeah, with this track here, you gotta be careful not to hit the walls because it is particularly narrow. And you can't really see that well, even with your headlights on. Because sometimes the track will curve upward and you can't really see above that curve. This car only has a 4-speed manual transmission, so I cannot go too much faster than this. You can actually adjust the gear ratio in this game. And I have it on short because most of the time I'm just stopping and going. So there's no real point to having a high top speed when I can focus that on acceleration. So some of the tracks in this game are 1 lap, some are 3. It really depends on the length of the course. Oh, stream can't keep up. Are we having tech problems? Can you hear me fine? I've already stopped. Okay, I don't know what you missed, but that was Night Cruise. Pretty good track. No, I'm not actually on site. I'm online. I'm actually in California. So this track's called Big Bridge, and it's called that because it's a big bridge. It has a big bridge on it. It's the main landmark attraction. I cut it a little too close on the inside here. Ah, we're fine? Okay, good. I wasn't sure the severity of that. Okay. But yeah, you'll see me downshifting a lot whenever I enter corners. And I do that because it instantly slows down the car much more than the actual brakes do. Alright, good series of drifts here. The thing about this game that I love and also hate is because you drift, and sometimes you're facing completely away from where you're supposed to be looking, that you cannot see at all, but it also looks so silly. I love it. And yeah, I am using manual transmission. It gives you more control, obviously. I mean, the automatic in this game is pretty decent, but not the best. Alright. Now we're making our way down the mountain in which we came from, in our spinning robo. Our four-wheel drive robo, that is. Oh no. Oh, okay. I went too far on the inside and I tried to correct it. But yeah, if you're wondering why you've never heard of this game before, it's because it was only released in Japan and never got an international release, unfortunately. There are multiple games in the Touge series though. There's Tokamaki 2, which is this game obviously, Tokamaki G, and then Touge R on the original Xbox. And unfortunately, none of those made it over to the West. Alright, we're on double ring now. This track is my favorite because it mixes dirt and tarmac. It's very fun. Yeah, it's the speed chime. If you've ever watched Initial D, or have been in an 8.6, you probably know all about that. And also another thing about this game, it was published by Atlas, which I find pretty funny. I think Atlas publishes all the best games, in my opinion. You can see all the Atlas signage on the sidelines. Okay, yeah, now we're on the dirt. Then we're back on tarmac, and then we'll be going back on the dirt next time we come around here. This track in particular is a couple laps. It's not a single lap, because it's just too short. Alright, that was a good switch right there. Yeah, I know, man. Atlas publishes a lot of weird stuff, even racing games. They published one game called Racing Lagoon, which is it's Final Fantasy but with cars, and I need to play it because I'm a big fan of car PGs personally. But yeah, that was double ring. Nothing too special about that besides the terrain thing I was talking about. The real racing simulator. I know, man. It's the best robot racing sim that I know of, personally. Chorokyu. Yeah, I'm a big Chorokyu fan myself. I went into neutral for a second there. Alright, so now we're back on the mountains in our robot. Yeah, this one in particular, I need to be very careful not to hit the walls, because the track is very narrow. And for some of the corners, you don't see them until they actually appear. Mainly due to the curves of the track and also the draw distance. You can see the gutters on the side of the road. If you're wondering if they actually do anything, they don't. This is not like Initial D in that regard. You can kind of, with the robo, it's so small. I want to see if I can do it on one of these corners, but you can fit half the robot in the gutter, which I find funny. If it ever becomes convenient, I'll show it off. Oh yeah, waited a bit too long. Alright, 103 checkpoint. In this part of the track here, it's a very sudden curve, so you have to downshift pretty early. Because if you don't, you're going right into that wall, right there. Well hey, it actually kind of worked out because I had to slow down anyway for this corner. That's like a full 90-degree bend right there. You can also hear the backfires and the blow-off valve on the robot. Pretty good stuff. And that's the end of Tight Down. Tight Down's probably one of my favorite tracks. Cherokee High Grade 1. Uh-oh, I don't want to save my replay. Game has replays like a lot of racing games and has some pretty cool camera views. So this is the first track where its entirety, where there's no tarmac at all. The whole mountain is covered in snow. Well, maybe a little bit of tarmac, now that I actually see it again, but yeah. Very shortly we'll be encountering some snow. And thankfully the robot handles the snow pretty well. A lot of the cars in this game behave very poorly in the snow. But the robot has no problem. Yeah, again, there's supposed to be music playing, but my disc is pretty scratched, unfortunately. The guy, it was like that when I bought it. So I'll probably have to get it buffed out, so you guys can actually hear the music. The game has some weird rock music that plays in the background. You can hear it in some of the other modes, I think. But not on my copy. But for now, you can just enjoy the sound of the robot engine and the dinging noise. And if you're wondering if the drift meter does anything at all, I don't think it does, but I'm not fully sure about that. Oh man, that was a hard hit. I had that happen in practice too. The car just went ahead and destroyed itself on that wall. Yeah, toothpaste is a good option. Also nice, I hit the wall again. Oh man, I gotta get out of here. If you're wondering if the robot's the only silly vehicle in the game, there are many, many more silly vehicles you can choose from, which I'll be showing off after the run. 216's not that bad. considering I hit the wall twice. Oh yeah, shout out to multi-track. Definitely one of the best emotes on Twitch. So now this track is entirely dirt. Entirely dirt, I meant to say. And the robot also handles it pretty well. And there's also some mix of tarmac in it as well. It reminds me of a rally course. This track is also really cool, I like it. It's one of my favorites. The shape of it reminds me of the Nürburgring. If any of you know of that track in the real world. In Nuremberg, Germany. Yeah, this part's really tricky, because you're going uphill and you don't have any room at all to move around. Oh yeah, thank you for your multi-tracks and your dudes and your dabs and all that. It is much appreciated. Maybe I shouldn't look at the chat that much. Because whenever I do, I crash. Ooh. Okay, I didn't hit the wall, thankfully. Alright, that was a good, rock, or dirt way. We're approaching the end of the run. Oh no, this is dirt way, never mind. Yeah, I got it mixed up. This is the track that's entirely dirt. Dank memes. And also, this track kind of vaguely looks like America. Except for the left side, I don't know what's going on there. I think California fell into the ocean. I got a lot of understeer there for some reason. That was pretty scary. You can just cut through here. You don't have to actually go around that corner. Sometimes, like there, you can clip your camera out of bounds, and the car, for some reason, is on top of everything else, visually. Oh, the robot's bouncing around. Alright. Now we're back in the jungle. Oh yeah, the president race and a road trip. Yeah, that's the best racetrack ever. You're right. I almost cleared that hairpin without hitting the wall. So close. And yeah, I will be playing Road Trip later in the marathon tomorrow. So you will be able to see that racetrack. Alright, so we're approaching the end of the run here. Time will be coming up in a couple minutes. Not quite though. I think we got maybe 3 to 5 more minutes in the run. Your run's in 4. What game are you running, Aliba?
3, 2, 1, go!
And this track here is a ripoff of Tsukuba Circuit in Japan. It's identical to it. But it's not actually called Tsukuba. And also here you can just cut the corner. But yeah, I love the robot. It's so easy to control, and it has so much power. It's unbelievable how amazing and overpowered this vehicle is. Oh, Dark Souls any percent. That sounds cool. I'll be watching this marathon a lot during my free time, so hopefully I can catch a run. Oh yeah, the dinging noise. It's the best music in the game. All right, and that was Tsukuba. I like this track a lot too. It's also another one of my favorites. Yeah, I'm also doing R4, that's right. Alright, so now we're on the last track in the game, called School Zone. It's called that because you use it for the tutorial mode of the game. And it's basically just an oval with some parts cut out. And you can go really fast on it too. But yeah, as we're approaching the end of the run here, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this weird little game. You can get it on PS1, and it's also available on the Japanese PS3 PSN store. It's a very fun game, and I wish more people ran it. Right now I'm the only one who has ran the game. It's a very fun speedrun, if you like racing games. But yeah, let's see here. Doing these drifts pretty well. Almost at 200 kilometers an hour. But yeah, this run went pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how it went overall. I feel like I played well. This might get pretty close to my PB, which is a 19 something. I'll have to double check. I have my splits open right now, but I can't look at them. I lost a lot of speed there. Okay, time and now. Time. Alright, what was that? I want to look at time here. 22:06. Oh, the stream's pretty behind for me. But hey, I saw a little bit in my estimate, so I want to show off something real fast. You know how I said there were more vehicles in the robot? Well, there's a bunch of weird ones in the game. Like the sheep, this army vehicle, pizza, the shovel, and the minecart, and then the robot. But I want to show off this sheep, because the sheep is my favorite. Let's go to, yeah, we'll stay on School Zone. That's a good track for the sheep. Alright, 22:26, that's pretty good. But yeah, for the sheep, you have to spam the accelerator to actually build speed. And you can actually go really fast using the sheep. Gotta be careful not to hit the walls. Alright, good drift with the sheep. Oh no, I hit the guardrail. Oh yeah, you bet I'm submitting sheep percent to GDQ. Alright, one more lap with the sheep. I went in too fast again. Yeah, the sheep can be faster than the robot, but the robot has better acceleration and handling, which is why I don't use it, sadly. I would love to. Alright, the final stretch. And there we go. That was the sheep for you. Anyway, that's all I got really for Tokamaki 2 here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm running a few more games in a marathon. And also, please watch Freeze Me by Mildew. I promise you'll enjoy it. Until they kick me off, watch the replay here. It's pretty cool. Sadly, there's no music.